Diamond. A very hard, precious stone. The ring has a flawless diamond. She wears real diamonds. The jeweler cut the diamond. The diamond sparkled in the light. She wears fake diamonds. He is in the diamond industry. She is a diamond dealer. They found a diamond mine. She has many diamond earrings.
Dirt. Soil from the ground. Unclean substance. His uniform was covered in excess dirt after the soccer game. The boy was covered in dirt. We have to dig the dirt to make a hole for the swimming pool. Go to the bathroom and brush off the dirt. His job is to sweep the dirt. That floor attracts dirt. Dirt covered the field. They threw dirt at him. Follow the dirt road. Let's lay a blanket on the dirt floor. We made a giant dirt mound. I couldn't remove the dirt stain. The dogs love to play in the dirt.
Disappointed. Upset that something that was expected to happen did not happen. She is disappointed. Her father was extremely disappointed. He felt almost disappointed. The couple was fairly disappointed. The girl is clearly disappointed. Are you disappointed about the decision? He felt disappointed in his friend.
Drunk. Having had so much alcohol that it is hard to function clearly. She is drunk. We got drunk last night. The whiskey made her drunk. They look extremely drunk. The college student became almost drunk with one beer. Her father was killed by a drunk driver. Drunk driving is illegal.
Ear. A body part on the side of the head used for hearing. He has an earring on his left ear. That dog has very big ears. She has pierced ears. My brother complained of the loud music because he has sensitive ears. If you can hear that, you must have really good ears. She plugged her ears because it was too noisy to sleep. He had to strain his ears to hear his grandfather's soft voice. She pierced her ears so she could wear earrings. The loud music hurt his ears. Sometimes your ears pop when you fly on an airplane. My ears redden when I'm embarrassed. She went to the doctor because she had an ear infection. The doctor gave her eardrops. She used her earmuffs because it was cold. He wears earplugs to sleep. She wears earphones so her music doesn't bother other people. He whispered a secret in my ear.
Embarrassed. Shy or ashamed. Socially uncomfortable. He is embarrassed by all the attention. My friend became embarrassed when he didn't know the answer. He was extremely embarrassed about his test score. She was clearly embarrassed at giving the wrong answer. He is easily embarrassed. She was embarrassed by her friend's behavior. My sister was embarrassed about her bad grades. He let out an embarrassed laugh. There was an embarrassed silence after he dropped his plate.
Empty. Having nothing inside. This bag feels empty. This box is empty. This shelf should stay empty. The box of cereal is almost empty. The shopping mall is virtually empty early in the morning. The hungry kids left the picnic basket completely empty. This bus is relatively empty compared to the last one. He left the empty dish on the table. She put the empty bottles in the trash bin. The empty apartment was scary at night. I don't like walking down empty streets at night. The empty lot is full of garbage. His empty stomach made it hard to study.
Empty. To remove everything from something. The students completely emptied their desks. She emptied out the fridge so she could clean it. This stream empties directly into the lake. The river empties into the ocean. I need to empty the dishwasher tonight. He emptied his bowl at dinner. They emptied a bottle of wine at dinner. He emptied his wallet to pay the bill. She emptied her purse for the security officer. He emptied his bank account before running away.
Engineer. Someone who designs, builds, or repairs machines or structures. He works as an electrical engineer. She works as a mechanical engineer. My son wants to be a computer engineer. We need a skilled engineer for this project. Many engineers designed the new airplane.
Engineer. To plan or arrange for something to happen. To design and build something. She carefully engineered a meeting between the two former friends. The new products have been precisely engineered for performance. This tool is specially engineered for building airplanes. The company wants to genetically engineer new crops.
Entrance. The door, gate, or way into a place. The act of going into a place. The building entrance was narrow. They came in through the main entrance. This castle has a secret entrance. They delivered the boxes to the north entrance. She made a grand entrance at the party. She used the side entrance. The flag marks the main entrance. This building has 3 entrances. The main entrance is blocked for repairs. She always makes a grand entrance at parties. They tried to gain entrance into the event. They were denied entrance to the club. Meet me by the entrance door. There is an entrance charge for this museum. I need an entrance ticket for this show. She met the entrance requirements for the program. He is studying for the entrance exam. He left by the rear entrance. She stood in the entrance of the building. Wait by the entrance from the garden. She made a dramatic entrance into the room.
Fault. Responsibility for something wrong. A bad characteristic. Flaw. Error in tennis. A break in the layers of rock in the Earth's crust. The loss was my own stupid fault. His biggest fault was being too confident. Her main fault is laziness. He is very critical of his personal faults. His plan has many major faults. That is a common fault of this machine. He committed a foot fault and lost the tennis match. They are conducting research on a major geological fault. The fault lies with her parents. We all have our faults. He overlooks people's faults. She rudely pointed out all of my faults. He learned to accept his faults. She admitted that her biggest fault is being late. We are looking for any faults in his plan. My mother always finds fault with anything I do. We are trying to correct any faults in the system. She keeps serving double faults. She wasn't at fault for the accident. Despite his claim, he was not without fault. She lost her job due to the economy, not through any fault of her own. Being late is a major fault in the trading business. His mother finds fault with everything he does. They are looking at the nearby fault line. Female, not male. Girl. We saw a performance by an all-female chorus. He thinks his female teachers are more caring. She prefers to be treated by a female doctor. He wants to get a female perspective on his problem. He was accused of treating female employees badly. The female population on campus is increasing. She doesn't have many female friends. She likes to spend time with her female cousins. They discussed typical female traits. He has a female twin. They learned to draw the female body in art class. I don't know if there's a female counterpart to that.
Fortune, luck, prediction of the future, wealth. She's had a streak of good fortune. This year saw declining fortunes for the company. Their economic fortunes have not been good. He comes from a family with a large fortune. He uses his family fortune to his advantage. He has good fortune on his side. A four-leaf clover is supposed to bring good fortune. They are hoping to reverse their bad fortunes. He knows his fortune can change quickly. They hope their fortunes will improve. She was told her fortune by a fortune teller. They made a great fortune through real estate. He won a fortune in the lottery. He inherited his fortune from his grandfather. She left her fortune to charity. He lost his fortune by gambling. Gold miners left home to seek fortune. His baseball card collection is worth a fortune now. My textbooks cost a fortune. He spends a fortune eating out. She paid a fortune for her new car. She inherited a fortune from her grandparents. He made his fortune in real estate. He made a fortune on his investments. She didn't believe the fortune teller.
Friendship. The relationship between friends. They have a great friendship. She made a lot of lifelong friendships when she was in college. He is building a friendship with his new roommate. She works hard to maintain her friendships. He let a silly fight ruin a good friendship. I don't want to risk my friendship by bringing that up. Their friendship grew over the last year. Their friendship started when they lived next door to each other in college. Their friendship ended suddenly. He betrayed our friendship by telling people my secret. She wanted to develop a better friendship with her roommate. She was jealous over the strong friendship forming between her two friends.
Funeral. A ceremony held after someone dies. There will be a family funeral this weekend. He wanted a church funeral. There was an elaborate funeral for the former president. The soldier was given a military funeral. They can barely afford a proper funeral. They attended a mass funeral for the disaster victims. Many people attended his funeral on Saturday. He arranged his own funeral before he died. The priest performed the funeral. They had a small, private funeral for their father. The funeral will be held on Thursday. The funeral ceremony is on Friday. The pastor gave the funeral sermon. The funeral music was very sad. Many people watched the funeral procession. They met with the funeral director. They arrived at the funeral chapel. The funeral arrangements are being made. There is a fundraiser to help with funeral costs. He is in the funeral business. They sang her favorite song at the funeral, Gene, a part of a cell that controls the appearance or growth of a living thing. They are researching dominant genes. Her illness was caused by an abnormal gene. We are still learning about human genes. She carries the gene for that illness. The gene was passed on to his children. He inherited that gene from his father. They are working to identify the gene that causes the disease. Genes control many human characteristics. That gene causes serious problems if it mutates. Genes can evolve over time. They are trying to map the gene pool. They found a gene mutation that caused the disease. He is researching the gene sequence. The gene for blue eyes is recessive.
Girlfriend. A female in a romantic relationship, a female friend. I can't wait to meet his new girlfriend. She was his first girlfriend. He ran into a former girlfriend. He has a serious girlfriend. He's dealing with a jealous girlfriend. He has a new girlfriend. He hopes to find a girlfriend. He met his girlfriend at school. He lives with his girlfriend. He wants to marry his girlfriend. He kissed his girlfriend. Grass. Thin green leaves that usually grow on lawns. He works hard to keep the grass green. The yard is covered with soft grass. She loves the smell of fresh cut grass. He walked through a field of coarse grass. The damp grass got her shoes wet. Dry grass can easily start fires. Cows eat a lot of grass. I need to cut the grass today. The grass grows so fast. He collected the grass clippings. He covered the yard with grass seed. There was a blade of grass stuck to her foot. They walked across the freshly mowed grass. She likes to lie in the grass. They spread a blanket on the grass. They walked through the tall grass to get to the pond. They walked through the tall grass to get to the pond.
Guilty. Feeling responsible or bad about having done something wrong. Responsible for committing a crime. He feels really guilty about that. The dog looks guilty. He pleaded guilty to murder. She is guilty of lying. Everyone believes that he is guilty. They were found guilty. The jury voted him not guilty. She feels extremely guilty about what she said. I feel almost guilty about being the lone survivor. The dog looks a little guilty. They feel equally guilty for the accident. He was certainly guilty. He feels guilty about the project's failure. He was found guilty of fraud. She has a guilty conscience. Baking is his guilty pleasure. The guilty party will be held responsible. They handcuffed the guilty defendant. The jury came back with a guilty verdict. He entered a guilty plea.
Guy. A man. He's a decent guy. She met a cute guy. People think he is a crazy guy. He is just a normal guy. The poor guy hasn't had any luck these days. Her brother is a big guy. That guy is my brother. Good afternoon, guys and gals. Which guy did it? Those guys are dangerous. These guys are innocent. Hat. Clothing worn on the head. The broad-brimmed hat keeps the sun out of her eyes. She wears a wool hat when it's cold. He likes to wear a bowler hat. Why is he wearing that silly hat? He wore a top hat with his tuxedo. The kids were given party hats and balloons. He must wear a hard hat at the construction site. He pulled down his baseball hat to cover his eyes. They placed a silly hat on my head and took a picture. He removed his hat when he entered the building. He tipped his hat as a greeting. He put on a fur hat to keep his head warm. Her hat was trimmed with peacock feathers. He runs a hat shop.
Hell. Very unpleasant place or situation. In religion, the place where bad people go after they die. This meeting is pure hell. Working there was a living hell. He's been dealing with a personal hell. He is afraid of living an eternal hell. He's been going through hell this week. She is making my life a living hell. I really need to escape this hell. I feel like we are in hell.
Hesitate. To pause before saying or doing something. To pause before saying or doing something. He hesitated a little before going in. She barely hesitated when accepting his invitation. He hesitated for a moment before asking the question. He appeared to hesitate before answering the question. His question made her hesitate for a moment. He didn't hesitate about the decision. I hesitated over the choice.
Highlight. Best part of something. That was the obvious highlight of her day. That meeting was a personal highlight for him. Meeting the president was the major highlight of the trip. He likes watching football highlights. His career highlight was winning the World Series.
Highlight. To point out, to emphasize, to give attention to something. The study clearly highlights the need for changes. We have repeatedly highlighted the problems. They recently highlighted their accomplishments. This article highlights the need for new testing policies. The exhibit highlights modern artists. They are trying to highlight the benefits of the new program. He highlighted the danger of doing nothing. They highlighted the differences between the two groups. His statement highlighted the need for planning. He highlighted the flaws in our proposal.
Honestly, in a truthful or fair way, with sincerity. He honestly believes he's right. They answered honestly. Do you honestly expect me to believe you? She honestly admitted to the mistake. I honestly don't know what happened. Can you honestly tell me what you know? I honestly don't care about the situation. Can you honestly say that?
Hurry. The need to do something very quickly because there is not much time. We're in a big hurry today. He is in a big hurry. Are you in a hurry? Why are you in such a hurry? Don't rush, I'm not in a hurry. What's all the hurry? After all that hurry, they still missed the train.
Hurry. To do something very quickly because there is not much time. Please hurry up. I'm late. They hurried out the door to catch the last bus. We need to hurry down to the store before it closes. We need to hurry over there. She will be leaving soon. Illustrate. To provide with pictures. To explain with pictures. The magazine was beautifully illustrated with amazing pictures. His report was neatly illustrated with charts and pictures. The news report graphically illustrated the consequences of war. The commercial attempted to illustrate the differences between the two products. The statistics from the survey served to illustrate his point. The painting is intended to illustrate the gift of life. The magazine was heavily illustrated with photographs of beaches. The growth of the company can be illustrated by a simple pie chart. The article fully illustrated his point. The presentation helped illustrate the argument.
Incident. An event or occurrence. There was a major incident at work. They were fighting over a minor incident. The book was based on an actual incident. Let's forget the whole incident. They finished the project without further incident. It was an isolated incident. There was a bad incident at school. The kids witnessed the violent incident. The police are investigating the reported incident. She was involved in the incident. Who caused the incident? Did you witness the incident? The police are investigating the incident. He could not remember the incident. She described the incident to the police. He was hurt in the incident. The family survived the incident. The incident occurred 2 days ago. The incident resulted in a riot. He will never forget the incident with his neighbor. Innocent people were hurt in the incident. The meeting ended without further incident. She was suspended for a week over the incident.
Indication. Something that points out or shows what is happening, or how someone is feeling. He gave a strong indication that he would be resigning. There is no definite indication of what happened. She gave sufficient indications of her intentions. They found no visible indications of abuse. Early indications show that the plane had mechanical failure. He gave a strong indication that he will quit. His face is an indication of how he did on the test. They had no indication of who was responsible for the accident. She found no indication of animal abuse on the farm. Indications show that his plan will fail. He gave us no indication as to what he will do. Inevitable. Certain to happen. Unavoidable. That street is so dangerous. The accident was inevitable. The change in policy became inevitable. Fighting with his boss made his resignation inevitable. He sees failure as inevitable. Selling their home was virtually inevitable. Getting hurt in the game is almost inevitable. Inform. To give someone facts or information. He simply informed her of the situation. She was kindly informed of her child's wild behavior in class. I regret to inform you that you did not pass the test. He was required to inform the family about the incident. She will inform you of any changes. He informed his kids about the dangers of drugs. We had to inform the audience that the concert had been canceled. We will inform the police immediately.
Intention. Something that you have planned to do. My original intention was to study all day. She may never reveal her true intentions. No one knew he had bad intentions toward the company. He stated his intention to run for governor. I have no intention of changing jobs. I know his true intentions. He left with the intentions of never coming back. Her intention in inviting us to dinner was to ask for money. The overall intention behind the project was good.
Invite. To ask someone to go somewhere or do something. He was formally invited to the banquet. She kindly invited our family to dinner. They have invited us over for dessert. He was invited back to their house. He practically invited himself over for dinner. She likes to invite people into her home. Let's invite her family for dinner. I don't want to invite him to the party. She invited her neighbors to stay for dinner.
Island. A piece of land surrounded by water. He lived alone on a remote island. They always wanted to visit a tropical island. They traveled to their island home during the summer. Fiji is a small South Pacific island nation. Hawaii is an island paradise. They own a house on a tropical island. Joke. Something said or done to cause laughter. He tells funny jokes that make people laugh. I didn't find her joke amusing. That was an old joke. He is always playing practical jokes on his friends. Everything is a huge joke to him. He's great at telling jokes. My brother is always playing jokes on people. She likes to share jokes with her friends. He likes a good joke. Did you understand the joke? You totally spoiled the joke. Some people cannot take a joke. Don't be upset. I said it was a joke. He told a joke about his family.
Joke. To say something to cause laughter. They were joking around all evening. Kids were playfully joking with each other. He was half joking about quitting his job. He joked about his own hair. She is always joking with her friends. Jury. A group of people that decide the guilt or innocence of someone in a court case. He was found guilty by a federal grand jury. The first trial ended with a hung jury. The 12-member jury will decide his fate. The case will be heard by a criminal jury. She served on a jury for the first time. Tell the jury what happened that night. Her testimony swayed the jury. The jury heard the testimony of the woman. The jury delivered a unanimous verdict. The jury acquitted him of his crimes. The jury deliberated for several days before reaching a verdict. He received a letter for jury duty. The jury selection took a long time. She lost faith in the jury system. The case is going to a jury trial. Jury members are in seclusion. The trial will take place before a jury. There were only 3 men on the jury. The trial began with a jury of 3 women and 9 men. Kiss. To touch someone with your lips to show affection. She kissed him gently on the cheek. He kissed her passionately. He quickly kissed his wife before getting on the plane. He bent to kiss her hand. She let him kiss her. He tried to kiss me. She kissed him on the lips.
Kiss. The act of kissing. She gave her son a quick kiss. He leaned forward to give her a big kiss. That girl gave him his first kiss. It was just an innocent kiss. He gave her a gentle kiss on the forehead. She planted a big kiss on his cheek. They exchanged a kiss. Mrs. Smith got a kiss from her grandson. The daughters showered their dad with kisses. The kiss only lasted a few seconds. He welcomed her with a kiss. They greeted each other with a kiss on the cheek.
Lady. A woman. His mother was a sweet lady. The cleaning lady did a great job. The old lady reminds me of my grandmother. He is bringing his new lady friend to the party.
Leg. A part of the body between the hip and the foot that is used for standing, walking, and running. He has a scar on his right leg. She has long legs. We noticed his hairy legs. I cannot stand on my good leg. She needs surgery for a broken leg. He tried to bend his injured leg. The policeman told him to spread his legs. She always kicks with her left leg. He broke his right leg in an accident. I need to shave my legs if I'm going to wear a skirt. The boy sat on a bridge dangling his legs. Her legs were shaking with fear. He does 10 minutes of leg exercises every day. During the game, she suffered a leg cramp. I want to have stronger leg muscles. The dog walked away with his tail between its legs. The soldier was hit in the leg. I have a cut on my leg.
Lip. One of the two soft parts that surround the mouth. His upper lip was swollen. She kept on licking her chapped lips. Everyone noticed her full lips. He got a fat lip from fighting. He has a bad habit of biting his lips. She's wanted to kiss his lips since they first met. He pursed his lips before kissing. The boy wiped his lips with his shirt. Her lips were quivering as she was saying goodbye. His lips brushed her cheek. He stood there with a cigarette between his lips. He had some chocolate on his lips.
Lonely. Feeling sad about being alone. The widow is lonely. She got lonely when he didn't return. She was extremely lonely after the divorce. She feels a little lonely when her children are not home. She experienced a lonely childhood. He traveled the lonely road.
Mad, angry, crazy. She seemed really mad at me. I was going mad from all of this noise. The street noise is driving me mad. She made me so mad. I was in a mad rush to get there on time. His hair makes him look like a mad scientist. I am mad at her. She is mad with envy.
Manufacturing. The business of producing products. Their manufacturing practices are illegal. She works at a manufacturing company. The city is creating more manufacturing jobs. We need to improve manufacturing production. She knows a lot about manufacturing technology. They have manufacturing expertise. We produce goods for large-scale manufacturing. I work in automotive manufacturing. She is in high-tech manufacturing.
Marry. To become legally husband and wife. He asked me to marry him in December. We are going to marry in July. I want to marry my boyfriend. I married my husband in 1988. I want to marry my boyfriend someday. She married young. He married into our family. I'm married to a workaholic. She married me for money.
Mate, a friend, a spouse. You should find a mate. She couldn't attract a suitable mate. He doesn't have a mate. She has a suitable mate. They have been best mates since college. Midnight, 12 o'clock in the evening, the middle of the night. The clock struck midnight. It is approaching midnight and we're still awake. Midnight has come and we're still awake. I always have a midnight snack. I need to be home by midnight. Motor, a machine that runs on power. I turned on the motor. The motor is still running. The motor is powered by sunlight. We installed an electric motor. He is a motor mouth. I need more motor oil for my car. Their son is behind in motor development. You need fine motor skills for the job. His favorite hobby is motor racing. He drives motor trucks. She doesn't have license to drive a motor vehicle yet.
Neat. Clean, not messy. Done in a clever way. I keep my house neat. The room looks neat. She has a very neat room. He did a neat job of painting the walls. He has such neat handwriting. You're a neat person. It was a neat performance. That is a neat way of thinking.
Negotiation. A discussion to reach an agreement between people. They are starting negotiations soon. We are having negotiations with them. We entered into negotiations. Their negotiations broke down. There is room for negotiation. He has great negotiation skills. The negotiation process is time-consuming. They went back to the negotiation table. This is an ongoing negotiation. We had secret negotiations. They are starting political negotiations. He is engaged in direct negotiations. They arrived at a decision through negotiation. The price is under negotiation. We are in negotiations with them. There are negotiations going on between them. Our negotiations with them were fruitful. There were negotiations for a week. We held negotiations over the issue. Nerve. The thin fibers that send messages between the brain and other parts of the body so you can feel and move. Courage to do something risky or dangerous. This takes a lot of nerve to speak in public. My nerves failed me. Try to control your nerves. I pinched a nerve. I lost all my nerve. He lacks the nerve to say something in public. The drink helped to soothe my nerves. You need to find the nerve to confront your boss. I damaged my nerve endings in the fall. Don't damage the nerve tissue. She suffered nerve damage. My optic nerve was damaged. I have a damaged nerve. She has shattered nerves. Messages are sent along the nerves from the brain to the other parts of the body.
Nervous, uneasy, worried. She gets nervous all the time. He seems really nervous. She makes me nervous. I have a nervous disorder. He has too much nervous energy. She's a nervous person. She let out a nervous laugh. I almost had a nervous breakdown. I could hear nervous laughter. I have a nervous habit of biting my nails. Her nervous system was damaged. I'm a little nervous about the show tonight. She was visibly nervous. I'm nervous about the show.
Nowhere. Not at any place. This road goes nowhere. We are nowhere near the area. The children complain we go nowhere fun. They were nowhere around the crime scene. The cat is nowhere to be found. The car was nowhere in sight. She has nowhere to go. He has nowhere else to go. Nowhere does it say you can't bring pets.
Nowhere. No place. He came out of nowhere.
Obligation. Something that you must do because of a duty or promise. She never fulfills her obligations. I have too many obligations. I feel an obligation to help them. What kind of legal obligations do you have? He has many personal obligations. I have an obligation to her. It comes without obligation. I am under no obligation to purchase something.
Odd. Strange. He is an odd guy. The place looks odd. The food tastes odd. I find it odd that she didn't call back. He has an odd look. He is an odd duck. I have an odd feeling about this. This is an odd request. She made an odd remark. She's a little odd. He does extremely odd things when the moon is full. Okay. Short for okay, meaning yes, all right. The food tastes okay. The music sounds okay after all. She did okay on the test. Everything seems okay. I am doing okay. She felt okay. This bread is perfectly okay to eat. Don't worry, I'm really okay. I'm okay with your plan. This is all okay by me. Passage. A paragraph or essay. A path. Movement. Read the passage and answer the questions. She cites passages from the book. Policemen are blocking the passage of cars near the accident. The opening passage of her novel is boring. She wrote a short passage at the beginning of her first novel. They found a hidden passage to the forest. She quoted a passage from the book. They are looking for a passage through the mountains.
Passenger. A person riding in a vehicle who is not the driver. I left a note for you on the passenger seat. Our main priority is passenger safety. He was not on the passenger list. Please wait at the passenger area. The ship exceeded the passenger capacity. She is traveling by passenger ferry. The airplane passengers were told to remain seated. Front seat passengers in a car are less safe. All of the passengers on the plane were told to exit immediately. The airplane is carrying too many passengers. The bus picks up passengers every hour. The passengers boarded the plane. Airlines are screening passengers of all ages.
Pen. An instrument with ink used for writing or drawing. She writes and draws with a ballpoint pen. He used a calligraphy pen to write fancy letters. We keep our dogs in a wooden pen. He uses a fountain pen. May I borrow a pen? The farmer keeps his pigs in a large pen. I lost my pen cap. I ran out of pen ink. It left a pen mark on his shirt.
Pin. To write something. To keep in a confined area. Keep in a cage. He penned his autobiography. She penned her own musical lyrics. He penned a song about his ex-girlfriend. We pen our dog when we leave to work. The farmer pens his animals separately.